77 WABC invites you to a family fun day and softball showdown on July 20th with net proceeds benefiting Shriners Children's. John Sterling will call the game as the FDNY takes on the NYPD with special guests Dwight Gooden, Art Shamsky, 77 WABC hosts, including Sid Rosenberg, Anthony Cumia, Lionel, Dominic Carter, and many more. For more info and to buy tickets, go to ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org. That's ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
If alternative energy like solar and wind was efficient, that'd be great. Some places can use those alternative energy sources, and it's wonderful. You're out in the desert, you want to put up some panels, that's fantastic. It's going to be great. If you're in a valley that the wind whips through and you put up a windmill, awesome. But these aren't energy sources that you can transport somewhere. And that's, I think, what people don't really understand. You could take a truck full of coal, a train, huge trains full of coal, and take it from one side of the country to the other. And all that energy can be used. You can't do that with wind or solar. You can't put it in a battery. Batteries are unbelievably inefficient in converting energy from one area to another and transporting it with a battery. It's terrible. And we are really good at keeping coal and oil as clean as is humanly possible. You look at some of the pollution that was around some of these big cities, especially L.A., which had that smog problem many years ago. They don't really get that a lot now because the energy, the cars, everything is a lot more efficient and a lot cleaner than it used to be. And why the hell should we sacrifice these amazing energy resources we have in this country when India and China and so many of these other third world nations are spewing some of the worst gases and waste into the atmosphere? And we're good. We're the ones that make sure it's cleaned up, as clean as it can be. So why? Why should we sacrifice it? It's great to have a president that sees that, and isn't willing to give in to the left. So I love it. Thank you, Donald, once again. Who's this, Silas? Is that your name, Silas from Staten Island? Silas? Silly.
Yeah.
Because you're silly. You're silly, Jerry.
Well, the one thing with, as far as running a store,
yeah,
you could catch a Mercedes about it. It's called shrinkage. Those shelves would be empty so fast.
Yes.
Even if it was for a profit, and then they would come in there, steal everything, and sell it. If the state took over the drug trade, they would lose money.
Yeah.
They would lose money. And
how much money? How much money do you think New York State is making with these, or any state really, with their prescription marijuana? They're you have your pot card, and you go to the dispensary and you get it. Are they making the incredible amount of money on taxes that they said they were going to make?
Exactly. I wanted to suggest to you, if you pull up the Gap Band, their song called "You Dropped a Bomb on Me."
I remember that one, sure.
Would be appropriate. But I could give you the phone call that Donald Trump gave to the Mullahs. He went all ghetto on him, and he said, "Okay, yo, my nizzle, if you mess with another American, I just proved to you that I can fly into your country, open a can of whoop-ass on you, and get back home. And you know that's right. So call me Mac Daddy, because homie don't play that."
I think we saw,
and they said, "Oh, this man ain't playing."
Yeah, I think that's what we saw, and it seems like the ceasefire is holding, and we'll see what happens. But America's involvement in that, over and above just giving the resources to Israel and the missiles and everything else, like our direct involvement was very limited, very surgical.
Yeah.
And then Iran kind of sent some missiles, called the bases in advance, and shot off some things off target and went, yeah, see, we're tough. And that fixed it. It was the end. What happened to World War III? We were supposed to have World War III, and that didn't pan out. So,
no, those mullahs know that he knows where they live.
Yeah, I know. They get a missile right through their window.
They want to send people to die, but they don't want to die.
Yep. Thank you.
Tell them straight up.
Silas, as I've been corrected. Silas. Jerry from Jersey. What's up, sir?
Anthony, I just wanted to ask you, why do the Republicans do such a terrible job fighting that basic ideology of the left on climate? I mean, Joe Biden used to go around all the time saying that he was saving the planet, that there was this existential threat.
That was the big line. It's an existential threat. And then they keep pushing the goalpost further and further. In 10 years, we won't have this. Florida will be underwater. And then 10 years comes about, and we're supposed to forget about it. And then they just say another 10 years and, call them out on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should just lay it down that there is no emergency, there is no crisis, that the current warming that's taken place is perfectly normal. And the idea that CO2 controls climate and all the Earth's temperatures is just ridiculous. I mean, there's no science there at all. When they married this junk science to the feckless politicians, we are just blowing so much money and opportunity with this junk science. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem promising that Trump pulled out of the Paris Accord, and a lot of these climate change bills that they try to pass are shot down now. And I think more people are saying, especially conservatives, obviously, that are saying, yeah, we're not doing this, and they seem to back off a little bit. But it is junk science. Whenever you try to refute it with someone, they'll go, "Oh, you know more than a scientist." Think what a bought and paid for scientist that is agenda driven or proof positive. Where is the proof that the sea levels are rising? You could see photos from over 100 years ago of a coastline that hasn't budged. And they will insist that sea levels are rising. Prove it. They've never proven one of these claims that climate is an existential threat.
I mean, they're always changing. 65 million years ago, the shoreline of New Jersey was freehold. That's where the dinosaurs were hanging out. So
yeah. I mean,
the idea.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Obviously, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, obviously things change. That the Earth's crust moves and erosion, things like that. But it's not because the sea levels are rising because of that existential threat of climate change. And it's just the usual clowns. Who's that? Greta Thunberg. She went from climate change to she's a supporter of Palestine and Palestinians and then something else. That's what these people do. They're like locusts. They go to one place, destroy whatever's in their way, and then move on to something else.
77 WABC invites you to a family fun day and softball showdown on July 20th with net proceeds benefiting Shriners Children's. John Sterling will call the game as the FDNY takes on the NYPD with special guests Dwight Gooden, Art Shamsky, 77 WABC hosts including Sid Rosenberg, Anthony Cumia, Lionel, Dominic Carter, and many more. For more info and to buy tickets, go to ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org. That's ShrinersChildren'sChampions.org.